Hey everybody, welcome to close to evening time in Thailand. There we can see a horse in the center of the video grazing on the pasture outside of my current lodgings and stay house. This video I want to just make as a very important follow-up video to my last video, which was called something like 12-minute video for complete and utter stress-free life, deep inner peace, complete inner peace, self-realization and enlightenment. So that talked all about what was so essentially important in life, the number one thing. Okay, I'm going to leave you in suspense to check that yourself. Okay, I'll post a video below. It's really good video. It's one of my favorite videos I ever made. So this video is about what's essential also, which really affects our level of stress, happiness, joy, gratitude level, abundance, appreciation, ability to have fun, to reach out, to let go, to forgive, to have energy, to enjoy life, to feel the energy, to be able to feel passionate. Okay? And that is our physical well-being, which is based primarily off what we put in our bodies, food and drink, what we eat, and what we put also on our bodies. But that's really of a much more secondary importance. But like stuff like personal care, household items, chemicals, toxins, pesticides, etc, etc, etc. So this is about, the first video I made was about not just doing away with irritation caused from the mind. So much about that video is fantastic. I really highly recommend it. This video is about not getting irritated by putting irritations in your body. Because we all know what it's like to be physically irritated. You know, do you ever feel like you have a headache? You're generally not in a fantastic mood emotionally and mentally. Do you ever have really bad pains? You're very physically irritated that way. Generally, you aren't in a very fantastic, empowered, free-hearted, light mood, expansive then either. Also, if you're feeling exhausted or underslept or overstressed physically, there's physical irritations and stress. That'll affect your level of wellness emotionally and mentally. Okay, moving on now to what I primarily made this video about also, which is what you eat. If you think about this, our digestive system is made out of cells. Our whole body's made out of cells, and they're tiny, they're microscopic. Apparently at the end of your fingernail there, the tiny part going across, which you can hardly see, there's like 10 cells going down, or 15 or something like that. So if you can imagine them as being absolutely tiny, but when we eat food, we can see it with our eyes, and it's huge. It's not microscopic, but it is microscopic, but there's billions and trillions of cells of food or molecules on the microscopic level. So getting down to the microscopic level, this will swamp and overcover and bog down our cells, which are tiny. And that's how our body works. It works as a cell, each cell. Even our organs are made out of cells. So are we putting in something that's really light and not stressful, really easy to process and move through our body? Light, simple, and easy to digest, and also has sufficient water content, because our body's mostly water too, made from the water molecules. There's mostly water in cells. Or are we putting in other food? Personally, and I can see it and I've experienced it, cooked food is irritating. Even cooked vegetables, the most innocuous, harmless vegetables like steamed broccoli. There's a degree of irritation in there. This will take away from your natural level of huge joy. Huge, massive, the joy I've been experiencing lately from just doing one day of fruits And I also did 2 enemas this morning. So when you clean out and you get rid of certain obstructions and things that are obscuring and obstructing, when you make things smooth and clean and clear, things become harmoniously moved through your body because there isn't obstructions irritating your bodily natural harmonious flow. I've done 3 other enemas lately, I think, in the last 3 days, and they've all helped contribute to today being me feeling so great. But I remember before I did 2 7-month periods of all raw, except for 1 Indian meal in the second batch. And I just remember, and I see some of these videos which I made before, I just remember the feeling of ecstasy almost, like just ecstaticness. Not always, but sometimes. But generally just a really good mood. But sometimes you're just floating on cloud 9. Because I had a mixture of the first video, I'm not causing the irritations with my mind and judgments, resistance, name calling, criticism, comparing, condemning. And I've let go and healed and let out and discharged a lot of the past previous pains and hurts. When you couple that with letting go and removing and not intaking physical obstructions through stuff like meat that's maybe, if it's not organic, and even if it is organic, in my opinion, it's still got a lot of irritations, like the protein irritation, these complex amino acids that the body likes. The body likes amino acids. By taking complex already made amino acids, it's irritating. It's acidic as well, in my opinion. And if you take anything that's not organic, it's got lots of pesticides, pus, hormones, artificial growth hormone, pesticides, fungicides, stress hormones in the cow or the animals. There's antibiotics and other drugs and chemicals that's gotten into the animal's food or into the animal's body directly. When you have stuff like cooked food at all, it changes the molecular and magnetic structure and chemical structure of the food. So I believe totally and utterly, basically speaking, I'm totally always open to changing my opinion. But in my first-hand experience, and so many other people, fruits, we are frugivore eaters. So when you just eat, and if you just eat fruit, that if you can get good quality fruit, if you can get really good quality fruit that's like reasonably fresh and ripe from the tree, okay, like right now I'm in Thailand. I've manifested this, and I've been helped to manifest this with my guides and spirit guides and family, etc. It's been 10 years in the making since I've been 20 years old that I've wanted to leave Ireland and go to a sunny, warm country because I love the sun. Finally, I've done enough healing and enough growing and expanding and learning to be ready for this. But I just want you to experience how I feel, and that's utterly amazing. Like sometimes there's just so much, and I'm really tired right now actually making this video. I don't know if you can see it or if I come across as like earlier on I was just like, yeah, it's like like levitating because I have already done so much emotional mental work, healing and letting go. But when you unobstruct the physical body by switching your diet to a good one, that totally empowers you to do the mental and emotional healing. But I'm just saying, the energy that can flow through your system, like it's like you're like just, I'll say the word like channeling energy, or like you're just like drawing in energy from the cosmos, the ether. You're just like laughing for no reason because you just feel so good, like you're vibrating cellularly on a really like good high level. There's good stuff happening in your meridian chakra system, your energetic system, your nervous system. Because you know what, like raw food, especially the fruits, they're strong magnetic things, which is brilliant for your nervous system, your brain. There's people, there's like fish in the pond. There's people who I know, from Dr. Morse, who I think is the best healer alive, the best iridologist, the best herbalist, and the best detoxification expert. He's gotten people who've been paralyzed out of the chair, out of their wheelchair, on fruits and herbs, because fruits have the strongest magnetic energy of all the foods, that he says, and I'm well up to believe it, because the results are there. And our physiological chemistry is we're fruit eaters, but you have to be just careful. If you're living in a cold climate, or in a lot of Europe, the fruits are we aren't living in a fruitarian planet. Like, there's people, like corrupt people on the top. They just want to like make you sick with drugs, lies, chemicals. You need like lies that you need calcium, dairy, wheat. Most of our food is like wheat, dairy, and meat, and other stuff. But just like really and hybridized, like genetically modified corn and all this sort of stuff. So fruits, if you can get good quality fruits, like where I am now in the tropics, you're going to be absolutely flying. And if you can get sun is amazing. We're like sun creatures. Look at my body. I don't have loads of hair. I have skin that's exposable to the sun. And when we get the sun, I'm telling you, it's like, that's another thing. It supercharges your nervous system. And don't forget, even your digestive system, your heart, your eyesight, everything is running, has a nerve and the cell. So every part of your body, every organ is being fed and is being utilized also by the nervous strength of your nervous system, your nerve power. So sun, fresh air, like being barefoot, getting grounded. I'll go down here, get grounded a bit better. And clean yourself out with enemas or colonics. I highly recommend it, especially if you're thinking about changing your diet to more raw foods. Clean your intestines first, because if you've got a whole lot of stuck gunk and then you start eating fruits won't mix well with the stuck gunk. Fruits are cleansing already, but if you're stuck with other stuff, you're going to feel bad. I recommend transitioning slowly to a diet of more or less all fruits if you're living in the tropics, getting good quality, proper, mineral rich. The fruits over here are mineral rich, or if you grow your own fruits on organic soil, organic stuff, mineral rich. Fruits have the same minerals as the vegetables. The only thing is vegetables usually have more. But because of the way humans don't prioritize and eat naturally, we're the only ones who cook our foods. We're the only ones who are dying at 10, 2 years old, 3 years old, 10, 20, 30, 40. All the other wild animals are like springing around until they're about to die. Like, they're like full of vigor, and they don't get arthritis, diabetes, strokes, heart attacks. They don't get erectile dysfunction. They don't get premature aging, psoriasis, eczema, acne. They don't get any of that. Humans are purely irritated species, and you can see that in their behavior. They're acting all irritated and like killing each other in the history and even recently. Yeah, I've made other videos on this, but I sure do believe we've survived on meat for a long time, but we have not thrived, and we've degenerated. We've degenerated terribly. The genetics is weakening and has been weakening for a long time. That's why young kids are dying now of cancer, and so are people at the age of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whereas back even a few decades ago, people only in their mid-30s or 40s were getting cancer. It's a mixture of the irritating protein and toxic foodstuffs and the chemical exposure too. It's a combination of those two. So I just want to recommend you to try out. If you're not in the tropics, take your green juices raw. Like Dan McDonald says, fruits and green juices like your celery, parsley, kale, lettuce. Juice them with fruits. Make a lovely juice, and that'll flood you of chemistry and electromagnetics, minerals and vitamins and enzymes. And do all the other practices: rest, sleep, sun. Fulfilling creative outlets, be creative and create in the world, fulfilling relationships, service of some kind, be helpful to other people, and enough sleep, sun, rest, water, and raw foods. You'll thrive on raw foods. Do that, and do the other video, which I'm telling you. I want you to feel anyway close to the way I feel, and even better, because I'm on the uphill. I only started yesterday again, and I have some serious energy coming to me in the next few days and weeks. Alright guys, God bless and lots of love. I'll talk to you again soon, and I wish you every single bit of the best. Love you. Bye. Take care.